Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Boss Ladies Connect. I am so excited about this because we are having some real conversations around friendships. And I've had these conversations before, and it just never gets old because we are always in relationship with people. And and so therefore we are always learning and growing and discovering new things about them and new things about ourselves. And just, trying to create a synergy or a connection with a completely separate individual, right? That we typically have some type of commonality with, but we're still very much different people. And so one of the books that I absolutely have enjoyed reading around this conversation called Friendship is All of My Friends Have Issues by Amanda Anderson. The subtitle is Building Remarkable Relationships with Imperfect People Like Me. She talks about this in such a great way. She breaks down friendships and she also identifies, like helps you identify maybe when your relationship is shifting and changing. So what I wanted to do this episode is take some of the things that she discusses in chapter 7 and kind of have a conversation, a really quick conversation. It's going to be about 15 or so minutes around this topic because y'all know I have been challenged with friendships. I continue to be challenged with friendships, but I love them at the same time. Like I love sisterhood, I love the connection, and I know that I've been built for a community and been built to have these relationships. So I'm always in a place where I'm looking to continue to grow and evolve and learn more about how I can do that better. So this chapter 7 is entitled Two Superheroes and No Sidekick: Overcoming Competition, Comparison, and Codependency. And then the main issue that she's talking about here is how competition damages friendships, but even comparison can make us sick. While culture pits women against each other, followers of Jesus should seek to be mutual encouragers. Our friendship should be a safe place, not only to be broken, but also to be strong and to share our strengths with each other. In Christ, we all have equal value, though our strengths are different. Offering loving encouragement when you see a friend using her gifts and talents to the glory of God. Now, she breaks this down, like that's the main issue. Then she talks about the deal breakers, and then she challenges us with some questions, and that's what we are really going to dive in. But I want to talk about the deal breakers. So she says a deal breaker is a friend that is consistently competitive. That person is an unsafe friend. Watch for sneaky signs of competition. Not only how she might belittle your accomplishments or sneeze on your joy, but how she might put herself down in comparison to you. A subtle, manipulative bid for you to build her up or tear yourself down. Don't jump through those hoops. Also, beware of the friend who tries to make her your project, right? Let her know that though you may have issues, you want to be seen as someone who brings gifts to the relationships as well. I got this stuff underlined. Okay. I got watch out for sneaky signs of competition. So I've dealt with competition in friendships. Um, and the way that mine was always sneaky, it was never like outright. It was always like not being able to fully celebrate in my joy or in my accomplishments, but only being able to celebrate when you were having an accomplishment as well. So if we were both accomplishing something at the same time, then you absolutely were ready to celebrate. But if I was accomplishing something, then you weren't as celebratory. Like you couldn't celebrate my wins, even if they weren't yours. And I didn't at the time realize that as competition. I would dumb myself down. I would just be like, oh, I shouldn't be so boastful, or I don't want to make her feel bad, about my accomplishments or my achievements when I know that she's struggling right now. And really, you should be able to show up as your full self. Of course, you want to be sensitive to the things that people are going through, and you want to support them through the things that they're going through. But you do not want to dumb yourself down in the things that you're doing on account of somebody else. And because how can you really shine? You should be able to really show up as the person that you are. And so it becomes challenging to really be in a relationship or a friendship and fully be vested in it and fully be authentic if you feel like you're always like, is this a good time? Is this not a good time? Can I show up this way? Can I not show up this way? So one of the questions that she asks is to challenge yourself, right? So this section she calls unearthing your issues. So this is a way where you can identify some of the areas where you're contributing certain things to this relationship or this friendship or this dynamic. So I'll pick two. The first one is, who can you count on to be a co-superhero in your life? I love the way that she puts that, having a co-superhero. Like my goal in friendship or in relationship is never to be the only one succeeding, right? It's never to be the only one reaching and accomplishing my goals or working towards my purpose. I want us to be co-doing that together. So I don't want to have to dumb down the things that I'm doing, and I don't want you to have to dumb down the things that you're doing. I want us to be able to shine together. We may have different paths, we may be doing different things, but we're doing the thing, that is for us. And I'm not looking to, in a friendship, right? I'm not looking to always be the one that's like rising above and you're like trailing behind me. And I feel like I've not done that intentionally, but I've been in relationships or friendships where that has happened. And what has happened is we weren't able to sustain that friendship because that person always, they never felt like they were a co-superhero. They always felt like they were the sidekick or like the title of this chapter, two superheroes and no sidekick. They always felt like they're the sidekick and you just can't win. Who wants to feel like they're somebody's sidekick? Like who wants to feel like that? Do you sign up? Hey, I'll be your sidekick. Like that's what I want to be. And even if you did sign up and you're like, okay, I don't need to be a superhero. I don't need to be doing all the things. I just want to be around you when you're doing this. Eventually, what's going to happen is it's not going to be an equal relationship, right? And so either you're going to get tired of being a sidekick or the other person's going to be tired of you riding their coattail. Like at some point in time, it is going to be an imbalance. I'm not saying that there aren't seasons where it may be this case where I'm learning something and then I help you learn it, or you're learning something and then you help me learn it. But at some point, we both have to be clear about the things that we're pursuing individually and us being a superhero in that space. And that, yes, we can equally bring contribution to the relationship. We can equally bring knowledge to the relationship. It may be different, but it's not a sidekick type situation. You're a superhero in your own right, and I'm a superhero in mine. And that's really important to look for. I'm telling y'all that is really, really important to identify and to be able to have, because I think you do well. You do well in that space, right? You're not feeling some kind of way when a person is winning. You're not secretly hoping that they'll fail, right? You're not harboring something in your heart because they're doing the thing that they've been called to do, because you're doing the thing that you've been called to do. So I love that. Co-superheroes. I want me some more co-superheroes in my life. Okay. Those are the type of relationships that I want. Now, let me be clear. There are some relationships that you have that are like mentor-mentee. Those are not, I don't necessarily consider them friendships. Not the co-superhero friendship. I'm here and I'm thankful and grateful that you're able to pour into me and that you're able to help me, but we're not necessarily doing life together like on an everyday basis. You are pouring something into me. That's your call in this season. I'm taking that, and eventually I will be pouring something into someone else. It goes around, right? And so that takes me to her second challenge or question, which is, can you relate to any aspects of the quote unquote, the fixer disease or codependency? Has there been, and so for me, what that means is, has there been a friendship where I was trying to fix people? And y'all know I have to say yes. And I think it's okay because that's like a mentor mentee or a coach thing. But I think when you confuse it and think that it's a friendship, is where some of the expectations get crossed. I just think you have to be clear on what type of relationship you actually have and what you're actually doing in this relationship. And the assignment that you've been called to in that person's life. And so, because at the times that I have had that type of relationship, um, it was clear that I was pouring into that person. And I also didn't have an expectancy for them to pour into me. But what began to happen was the relationship was just always me pouring, always me pouring. Um, but then it went on for a while, but then as it got, um, as I began to maybe, I guess, switch it a little bit and expect more from the individual, I had to remind myself that this is not that type of friendship that this is a relationship that I pour into. My girlfriend, Maxine, said it really well. She was like, there's some people that you walk the path with together. There's some people that you're just designed to pour into. And then there's some people that pour into you. And that's the relationship. I think at one point, I don't want to say got tired of pouring in, and I wanted it to be an equal footing, but it had never been that. And I'm not saying that it can't shift or it can't change, but I couldn't keep showing up the same way. We couldn't keep doing stuff the same way in order for that shift or change to happen. And we also needed to talk about it, And so it's still, we did get a chance to talk about it, but I still think that there's nothing wrong with the relationship being that mentor mentee. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And I think at the time I was just categorizing everything as friendships when they're not friendships to me. They're not all friendships, right? It doesn't mean that I don't like you, I don't want to hang out with you or chill with you on a daily, but you're not my to-go person for some things, like the sister girl things, right? You're not necessarily my to-go person. We've established a relationship in this season where I pour into you, or we've established a relationship where I can go to you to be poured into. But then there's that friend that I'm doing life with, I'm going to the mall with, I'm hanging out with, I'm chilling, whatever. And we're both superheroes in the scenario. And so I think just accepting that and being okay with that and not seeing it as a bad thing. Just seeing it as the way that this relationship is. And since I have been able to categorize my friendships better, it has really, really been helpful, even with the friends that maybe you just pour into for a season, or maybe you're just crossing paths, or I don't want to call them friends, even with the people that you meet that you're pouring into. So great, perfect time for me to share this quick analogy that the Lord gave me when I was dealing with separating the relationships. And it was like, so how you're driving somewhere, right? You're on the road, you're on a main highway, and there is a gas station. So let's say I'm the gas station. In this gas station, there are many things that you're able to get. You're able to get gas. You might need to stop and use the facilities. You may need to rest. Like you might need to pull over, take a nap, stay there for a while. Y'all might need to eat. You might want to go in there and get, a candy bar or get a sandwich. Some of these stations, have spaces like for truck drivers where they could like literally sleep overnight. You might need to get rest. You might stay for an extended period of time. And then maybe you're coming to the gas station because you work there and you're a repeat, driver. You come there all the time. This is on your route. This is your favorite gas station. You stop, you hang, you have conversation, you meet other folks, or you work there, right? What the Lord reminded me of is that there are many people going towards whatever their destination is. And sometimes you might be on the same road. So you might be on that same highway. and it may require you to pull over to that gas station. Now, Letitia's the gas station, right? It may require you to pull over to that gas station. But because of what your destination is, you might not need to sleep there. It might not need to be an extended stay. You might just want to come get some gas and leave. You might just want to come get something to eat and leave. You may just need to use the facilities, right? And notice that, use the facilities. The facilities, you're not giving me anything. You're just actually coming and using, the word use, taking something that is offered there or that is free, and then going about your way, and never come back. And so what God was showing me was that there are going to be people that some are going to come and stay for a while. Some are going to just get the gas. It's going to be an exchange or a transaction, right? Some are going to get the food. Some are going to have their own food and just sit there for a little while and eat their food. Some are going to rest. Some might be continuous, repeat customers, repeat, people that you actually build relationship and you kind of do life with because they take this path every single day. And so that's how I have to see people and understand that as the gas station, I'm offering something. And not everybody on this road stops at this gas station, but the people that do stop there may not be permanent people, And you have to be okay with the fact that they just came and did a transaction, or they just came and used the facilities and they just came and ate and they just came and maybe they stayed for an extended period of time, but now it's time for them to actually get to the destination that they've been called to. And so that just has really helped me recognize that not everybody is going to be that co-superhero, right? Not everybody's going to be that co-superhero. And so now I've been more intentional about paying attention to their assignment and to my assignment. More importantly, not just paying attention, but being okay with whatever that assignment is. And I think sometimes we have in our mind, like, oh, okay, this Benz is pulling up. This Benz about to stay. You about to work here, or this about to be on your route. You about to stop all the time. Or maybe the Benz came and the Benz stayed for a little while. I need a place to rest. I needed to rest my head. I needed to, stay overnight. And I'm like, oh, I like that Benz. I want that Benz to stay. Don't get attached. That Benz has its own destination that it needs to get to. And it may have just included you in this moment and in this season. And so that has really freed me. Believe it or not, that has freed me because I felt like everybody that came into the station was supposed to stay at the station, it's supposed to be repeat customers at the station. I felt like everybody was supposed to be repeat. And, just because I want to be able to give, but I also want to be, I want to be present. I want to be the station. And I guess I'll be trying. I want it to be the station that you've wanted to stay at, that you've wanted to continue to come to. And somebody might come and get some gas and be like, I don't like that station. I'm not going to come back no more. You know what I mean? And so just putting that mindset when we're dealing with people. But listen, those who stay and those that like it and those that want to come back and those that are a part of your assignment for life or for a long term, they will know that and you will know that. And you can enjoy that space as well, right? I think you can enjoy all of the spaces. And so it's just really about understanding and your mindset concerning how you're looking at friendships and how you actually identify them as being friends, as opposed to people that are passing by on the destination to whatever they've been called to do. Right? So guys, I hope that this episode has been quick, but it's been meaty. Okay. I hope that this has been really good to you, really good for you and informational. We're going to keep diving into this book. I feel like for this season, I want to continue diving into this book because it has been so helpful to me. And so again, I will have the name of the author in the book in the show notes. So that you can, check the book out for yourself as well. If you have any experiences that you've encountered with friendship, or any ways that you can relate. I love to hear it. You guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please comment, subscribe, and like. If you're listening to this via the podcast, definitely subscribe, definitely like, or leave a review so that I can know how impactful this information has been. So as always, guys, continue to do life well and business well. And for this series, friendships well. Talk to you later.